Hey everybody, just a quick review before your formative today on Lewis structures. So I want you to just make sure you remember the following things. First, Lewis structures show valence electrons only. All right, and that's in contrast to Bohr models, which show all electrons. All right, so that's our big difference here. Lewis structures only show valence electrons. Okay, so let's talk about how to identify or how to draw these Lewis structures now. First off, we need to just make sure we know like what they look like in general. So they're always going to look like element symbol with dots around it, right? And those dots are the electrons. Okay, cool. So let's take a second. Let's draw a couple. Just make sure we know what we're doing. So let's say draw a Lewis structure for some lithium a couple times. Let's do boron. All right. So draw a Lewis structure for boron. Well, first we need to know where boron's at on the periodic table. Just going to pull up a periodic table really quick. All right, boron's right here. So boron would get 1, 2, 3 valence electrons. So we would put a B big, and we would add 3 valence electrons to it. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's a Lewis structure for boron. Oh no, the electrons went away. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's a Lewis structure for boron. So again, I just found valence electrons and I added them to the element symbol. One question you're going to be asked on the formative is going to be like, which Lewis structure is correct or which is incorrect. So the way I'll want you to figure those out, how to decide if a Lewis structure is correct. Oh, I capitalized correct. Essentially what you're going to be doing is check how many valence electrons there are on the Lewis structure, and then check with what you would expect from the periodic table. Okay, so if we had, let's say, we were given a Lewis structure that looks like this. Like we have a Lewis structure for carbon, and it's got 1, 2, 3 dots on it. All right, is that going to be correct? A Lewis structure for carbon with 3 dots on it. Well, let's go to our periodic table. Carbon's right here. So I would expect carbon to have 1, 2, 3, 4 valence electrons, which means this with only 3 is not correct. Wrong. Bad. Don't like it. It should look like this. Carbon with 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on it. All right. Hopefully this helps out. Just like get a little review in. If you're not feeling confident, I'd rewatch notes. I'd look at the work recap video from yesterday. You could redo the Kahoot. Kind of up to you how you'd like to review. It's a 10-point quiz, formative exit ticket, whatever you want to call it. Let me know if you have questions.